table. The sales table has a sales ID. Again, notice how auto increment keys, how auto increment is used where fields not necessarily have to be kind of different. Like usually with employee IDs, I don't think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Employee IDs are a number. My employee ID is a number. Maybe it is a number on when I was hired. You know what I mean? Like the employee number. But all fields here for primary keys, they have used auto increment primary key. The sticker number is again a foreign key here because it is referencing the inventory table. Remember, every car had a sticker number. The employee ID is referencing the employee table because it had an employee ID. The customer ID is referencing the customer table. So once we are done, once I run it, I'm going to create a ERD of it so that you can open it to answer the queries. Also notice, keep in mind, only InnoDB will enforce foreign keys. So keep that in mind. Also here, let's add unsigned. I see a numeric field here. Let's add unsigned here too. Again, I'm not kind of doing anything with null or not null because I'm not sure about the data. And here is the sales table. And all that is select from all 4 tables. So we have 4 tables: an inventory table, an employees, a customers, and a sales. And the database is called, so that I know, DB Extra Lab 1. So let's go to database, do a reverse engineer. And you will need this for the exam also. I mean, I don't know, like how did you do your assignment, but it's kind of helpful. Extra Lab. There it is, Extra Lab 1, and a next, and a next, and execute. Uh-oh. Another computer on this network has the same IP address as this computer. Okay. Okay, and a next, and a finish. Okay, so if you notice, we had the 3 foreign keys. The table sales was actually linked to all the 3 tables. There they are. Right? So the other tables are independent. Inventory is independent of employees, is independent of customers. Definitely, there are 3 different tables. But the sales table is linked to all the 3 tables because you're making a sale of a car, an employee is making the sale to a customer. So there is where references come. Otherwise, the other 3 tables are not even related to each other. Okay, now once you have this diagram, you should be ready to kind of start answering queries. So notice that the first question, like a review again, is on an ERD. So it says draw an ERD showing keys and cardinality. Cardinality and relationships mean the same thing. You've learned 3 types of cardinality: 1:1, 1:many, and many is to many. You haven't seen anything yet, I think, of many to many. But 1 to many you've seen a lot, and I think we did a 1-to-1 also a few weeks back, right? So you may be expected to draw a diagram in the exam. I'll provide you the paper, so don't worry about that, right? So hopefully you will have pens, otherwise I'll get pencils. So it will not be a big thing. I mean, it does take time, but of course, I'll give you time for it. I mean, I know what I'm asking of you. So it says draw an ERD showing keys and cardinality on the paper provided based on the create scripts above. So you can cheat, of course. You can do a reverse engineer and cheat it. I know you can do that. But still, you have to check if the relationships are correct and so on. Keep in mind, you have to still check. Describe if this is in the first normal form. Now, this is something that is not coming from your ERD. Okay, so when is a table said to be in the first normal form? A table is said to be in the first normal form if it has a primary key and every field is non-atomic in nature. And all our tables are that way. I don't see any repeating groups, or I don't see any non-atomic field. And keep in mind, non-atomic has 2 kinds of definitions. One, it cannot be broken down. That's what is happening here. But the other is that it has no repeating groups. For example, the first thing that you did in your class in the semester when I said, what are your favorite sites? Or the colors of toys, right? That's a repeating group. You say favorite sites, in one field, you have the same kind of data. Whereas, keep in mind, an address is not a repeating group. In address, usually you will have a house number, a street number, a city, a province, and a country. So they're not repeating. It's not a repeating group of data. It's just data, which is your address. So you'll say, oh, that's not atomic in nature because it can be broken down, but it is not a repeating group. So both definitions, either one, see whatever works on it. So are all these tables in the first normal form? They are definitely in the first normal form. Each of them has a primary key, and I don't see any repeating groups of data. I don't see any non-atomic field. So if the question is this, all it says is your answer should describe the key requirements for first normal form. So I would recommend that of course your scripts have it, you're allowed to use your scripts, but I have put definitions of first, second, and third normal form in one of your in the scripts that we did. So you can have that definition, and all you'll have to do is kind of copy that definition into your answer and just explain it in a little more words. That's it, right? So keep the definitions handy of first normal form, second normal form, and third normal form. I've done all three normal forms with you. ERD most probably I won't give you, because you know what, you'll draw it here, you'll make it here, and then you'll just copy. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. So don't expect an ERD to be drawn, but questions like, is this table in the first normal form, or what is it in second or third, or how do you know, give a definition, those questions are okay. Okay, that will, so keep the definitions handy. Okay, let's start the two. So I won't do one for you, but definitely all these tables are in the first normal form, because every table has a primary key and every field in every table is non-atomic in nature. Okay, that's what your answer will be. Okay, now it says write a query to show how many sales each salesperson has made, right? So how many sales has each salesperson made? So definitely employees and the sales table. And again, if you kind of can't, make 2 and 2 together, but that's okay. You open this up, you just say, oh, how many sales have been done, and the salesperson is the employee, right? So these are the two tables you are interested in. So what do we want? We want sales each salesperson has made. The result should have 3 columns: first name, last name, number of sales. And if they have 0 sales, that means the count is 0, you do not need to show any results. So keep in mind, I'm saying how many sales. I'm not saying sale value. I'm saying how many sales has each salesperson made, which means what now? I have to pick up the employee from there. I have to pick up the sales table. I have to match the employees. And then I have to count. I have to group them together. I have to count. And if the count is greater than 1, I have to split it out. Right? So how many sales have been made? Oh, it's not saying how greater than 1. It's just saying how many sales. I said greater than 1 because it says if there are no sales, don't bother to show it. Okay, so the two tables, the joining condition, and of course then the group by, and then a count. Okay, so let's do it. So select. So your field names, if you want, hopefully I have them right here. I'm going to take the first name, and keep in mind, if I say please show me concatenated name, concatenate it, and please give the field a proper heading, a display name. Again, this has marks in your, it has marks in your assignment also, and it will also have marks in your exam. So anytime you are doing a calculated field, a concatenated field, anything where the display is not clear, please see that I have a proper name. Okay, and only show me fields that are required. I don't want to see a star here. I'm not interested in a star. Again, it is clearly mentioned in all assignments you've done till date, and will also will happen in exam. So it's same kind of thing. So you don't have to kind of say, what is she asking you? I've been asking this every time. I've been asking it in every assignment you've done. Okay, so let's select the first name, the last name, and it says how many sales were done. Okay, so how many sales were done by a particular employee. So if you go to this, these are the two tables I'm interested in, the sales table and the employees table, right? And the joining condition, if you notice, is the employee ID. So my ERD shows it because I use this kind of diagram, where it kind of connects the field, though they're called the same, but it is not. Now what? Now what do you have to do? I'm interested in counting how many sales were done. So you have to apply the count function. Now you'll see on what do I apply it? You can apply it in a number of ways, but because I have to do the grouping also, I won't do it on employee ID. I'll do it on sales ID. I do it on sales ID. You can say, what field do I count? Well, let me complete it, and then I'll say which you could have chosen. Why didn't I choose employee ID? I'll kind of let you know in a minute. Why didn't I choose to do employee ID here? Though I think, I'm not sure if group by causes problem, but that's what is in my mind. So this is definitely safe. Sales ID is a primary key, is unique, only occurs once, right? So I can't go wrong here. Now the tables that you're interested in, you can use comma, you can use inner join, you can use natural join. Whatever works for you works for me. Okay, so it was called table sales, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And if you want to put a comma, then it was called table employees. If you would like to stick with inner join, it's entirely up to you. Right, now the joining condition. And again, you can use natural join. Both fields were called employee ID. So you don't even have to do kind of, you don't even have to do this. Do whatever works for you. I mean, when I mark it, I'll mark it whatever you've done. Really doesn't matter to me. Does it say anything about joins and subqueries? No, nothing. So if nothing is asked, I'll just show everything. Okay, so the sales value employee ID. That's strange. Why is it not helping me? Is equal to table employees ID. You can give them alias names. Oh. That's your joining condition, right? So I've joined, so the two or the three or whatever tables to be joined and all the joining conditions. Since there are only two tables, there will be only one joining condition. And now I say, now you have to find out each person made. So group by, right? And because I'm grouping it by employee ID, I didn't choose to count them. I mean, I could be wrong. Group by just means, oh, it will only count it once is my thinking. We can double check. Pick up anything here. Now, do I need a having condition? It says only show sales if it is non-zero. Do I need a having condition? Will it happen when you join? No, it won't happen. I don't need a having conditions. The tables are joined on employee ID. So a person who's made a sale will be in the sales table. Otherwise, that employee will not even occur here. So I don't have to put a having condition. You don't have to say where count is greater than 0. You see, logically, I don't need it. It's not, I mean, it won't be a different result, but it's redundant. Since every employee who makes a sale is in the sales table, then, I mean, the count will only come up if the employee IDs are same. I don't have to put a having here. If the question was having one or more, then I would have to put a having. But this only says anybody who's done a sale. Don't show me 0 sales. So the question is kind of confusing you that you need a having, but you don't need a having here at all. Because employee ID will only occur in the sales table if that employee has made a sale. This is all I need. I don't need a having. Don't put it, it's redundant code. So it's just not, as I said, don't close your eyes and do your assignments or your exams. Kind of think a little as to what is required. So this should show me anybody who's made a sale. So let's only run this. And this is what I have. Oh, notice something that I missed. Alias names. It says count sales ID. It's an alias names. So it says this person has made 4 sales, 2 sales, 2 sales, 1 and 2. I don't need having. Tell her I don't need it because anything greater than 0 automatically, look at my joining condition. If I'm joining the sales table with the employees table and I only join if the employee IDs are equal, this person has definitely made a sale. So I don't need the having condition. If it was different from 0 sales, then I would need it. So the question is only confusing you. You don't need it. The answer won't change, but it's redundant code. It's not required, right? So this one has to have an alias name. So these are number of sales. It says call it number of sales. I'm not even asking you to think about it. I'm saying call it number of sales. Except that all spellings are wrong. There. See, having won't make a difference, but it is not required. It won't. You'll have to write this field again. I mean, it's greater than 0 or equal to, like, it doesn't matter. It will automatically be anything, any employee who has joined hands will have something in the sales. So it won't change the answer. Oh, you did?
Yeah, you add that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This one you're not greater or equal to.
I said greater than 0. Oh, give me a minute.
No, it will not.
No, it will not. I've said greater than 0. It cannot. Logically, it cannot change it, but I'll still double check since you've kind of put the doubt in my mind now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, by logically, it should not. 6. The answer should still be 6.
Yeah.
Yep, right. This, if it was something like this, if I had said make 1 sale, then the having would be important. Then it is required. But here, having is not required at all. Because what am I saying? Employee join hands with the sales table and only match if the employee number is same. So definitely these persons have made a sales. There's no sense of saying count greater than 0, right? There's no sense. Now, if you wanted to show everybody's count, saying, oh, this person made a 0 and this, then you say having greater than equal to 0, and it will also show employees with 0 sales. If that was the question. So show everybody's sales. Show me the 0 persons also. I want to see everybody. Then you would say greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Otherwise it wouldn't show you. Okay, now keep in mind a few things. Now I'm just guessing, I'm just thinking that here I should use the sales table and not the employees table because I'm grouping it by, but I could be wrong. I mean, I'm saying if I'm grouping by, oh, this is definitely, but maybe it's just using the ID. I mean, the confusion is not here. This is no problem because it's just, I'm just saying which ID to pick up. I'm thinking if I don't put sales ID here and if I put something like employee ID here, maybe I'll have a problem because I'm grouping on employee ID. So it will only occur once. I could be wrong, but that's what my thinking is. So I didn't use employee ID here. I could have said count how many times this occurs, but somehow I don't have the right feeling, but that feeling is not logically necessarily. See, yeah, I have an error. Oh, but it is ambiguous. That's why. It is ambiguous. That's why. It's not a problem of, because we don't know how the engine works, right? That's the main problem. If we knew how it was working, what does it do first and second and so on? Okay, no. So that was just my feeling. It will work. It doesn't matter where you group by. I was thinking because it's grouping by, it will only count it once. So I stuck to sales ID. So I'll still stick to sales ID because it makes it more clear in my mind. Right? But you can think of whatever. So I thought grouping by all employee IDs that are one become one group, it won't count them properly. Like if I say count of this. So the grouping is not kind of confusing with the counting. Right? It was my thinking. So again, I'm keeping having here, but it is absolutely redundant. Absolutely redundant. Now let's check if it has 0 sales, will it also show up? Now I want everybody to show up. Everybody. Now I'm thinking if I'm joining the tables and it is joining on employee ID, what happens? See, it will still not come. It will still not come. Why? Because the join is on employee ID. It will still not come. It is absolutely redundant. The greater than equal to 0 will also only show 1. It won't. Is there a person with no sales? How many people in the employees table? How many people? Yeah, there are more. There are 8 people. And the answer only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 people haven't sailed. So notice again, logically, what I was saying is making sense. When you're joining the 2 tables and you're joining on the equality condition, then there will be no join for people who haven't sold a car. So writing that condition now becomes all the more irrelevant or redundant, absolutely redundant. So you say, how do I find out people who have not made sales? Outer join. You'll have to do an outer join. That's the only way I can find it. People who are in employees but have not made a sale is an outer join. But with an inner join says join if they are same. So if there are people in the employee table who are not in the sales table, how will they join? They can't join. So always think of what do I need. So this, even if you wanted to see 0 people, this will not show up. This will not show you people who have made no sales because the joining is an inner join. It's not an outer join. So if you wanted to see people who haven't made a contribution, then I'll remove it. I don't want to even confuse you, but it's redundant. It won't even work because the join is an inner join. So you have to be careful about these things. Questions can be tricky. It looks like a simple question because it just says people who made a sale, and that's fine. But if I say people who have not made a sale, please be careful. You pick up the employees table, do a left outer join with the sales table, and then say anybody whose partner is a null has not made a sale. Let me see if I've asked you the question. Here they are. There it is. Write a query to show how many sales each salesperson made. If they have not made any sales, the query should return a 0. The result should have 3 columns, first name, last name, number of sales, and ordered by number of sales from highest to lowest. So it's just an order by. Now look at the question. It says, I want to see everybody. Everybody. If they have made a 0 sale, I still want to see the thing. So the obvious way, I mean, the first thing that will come to your mind is, oh, I've already done A. I've already done 2. All I have to say is count is greater than equal to 0 and it will start showing it to me. But that's not correct because and inner join joins on equality. And there may be some people that do not have not made a sale. So now it says, show me everybody who has made a sale. Even if yes or no, if it is a 0. Now think about it. What's the solution? Left outer join, right? So you want to have everybody from the employees table come up. But to see how many sales that person has made, you have to do a join with the sales table. But not a normal join, not an inner join, an outer join. Because if an employee has not made a sale, I still want to see him or her with 0 as the answer. Right? So an inner join will not work here. It's incorrect. It will not work. You can think, oh, the same thing that was asked in 2, all I say, having count greater than or equal to 0. It won't work. Because that person never gets joined even. Right? So you'll have to do a left outer join here. So of what with what? So the same things are being asked. So we can copy this, but definitely we want to make changes or a right outer join, whatever it is. Now make it with, now make a left outer join with table sales. So here, every employee is shaking hand with the sales table. Some may have partners, some may not have partners. Doesn't matter. I'm interested in everybody, right? Let their count be equal to 0. Doesn't really matter. But now the condition to join. The condition to join means what now? They still join on the same condition if they don't find a partner. Everybody needs to be shown. You'll say that doesn't make sense. So let me show you what is the answer first without the fields. Let me show you what is the answer without the fields. I'm telling every employee to say hello to the sales table. If you have a partner, good. If you don't have a partner, we'll see null fields, which is okay by us. So let's do it. So this is a left outer join. I want everybody to come up. Notice everybody comes up. So there were 2 people who didn't make a sales. Out of 8, 6 had made a sales, 2 haven't made a sale. So here I still want to see their first names and last names. And in the count, I want to see a 0. I want to see a count of 0. They didn't make a sale, right? So all you have to do is count them. Okay, so let's go back. So I have to include everybody. I'm not saying don't include people, or don't include records in which sales ID is null or not null. Everybody needs to be included. Now let's change this star. Let's change it. We want to see the first name. We want to see the last name. We want to see the count, and the count should be 0 for employees who haven't made a sale. Let's run it. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. Group by. It just gave me 1 value. Group by. Let me copy because it's a longer type. Oh, order by. Okay. Order by number of sales from highest to lowest. You can say order by 3. Right? It is the 3rd field. You don't have to repeat count sales ID if you don't have to, want to. And from highest to lowest. So descending. You have to go descending from highest to lowest. So default is ascending. Default is ascending. You don't have to write ascending, but descending you have to write because I said highest to lowest. So zeros will come at the end. So notice how when I forgot group by, it just gave me a value because count just counts them. So you can't make a mistake anywhere. So just an answer doesn't mean that the answer is right. So there you are. 1 person is missing.
Yeah, that would be Laura Cowan.
Yeah, why is Laura missing?
I did an alternate solution to this that might help. It is a left join, but not a left outer. Basically, for the first line, when counting, I did a null if sales ID.
No, you count ticket number, not the sales ID.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Give me something is wrong here. So the outer join is right. Everything else is right. So what should I be counting? Yeah, here see the sales ID is causing a problem because sales ID is null. Yeah. Sales ID is null. It's causing a problem here. I said count on sales ID, and the sales ID value for these two records is null. Okay, so what should I be counting on? Sticker number?
Yeah, if you go up to the sales,
They have a sticker number.
Yeah, each car has a sticker number that they sell.
But that sticker number will also be null.
No, there is a sticker number.
No, there is a sticker number. But what I mean is, see, this is what I'm trying to show you. If I do this, just this. Okay, with the order by will cause problems. The one that I had before. If I just do this, oh, the group by is causing problem. But that is strange. Why is it doing it?
Try changing it back to TBO_employee.employee ID. Maybe there's a difference.
Wait. Let me think. I mean, you just don't change it. You have to think what's going on.
No, but I did the same, but counted by sticker number.
But notice how the sticker number is also, the value under sticker number will also be null here. This is a dicey one. Let's see. I want to show how many sales each person has made. If they have not made any sales, the query should return a 0. So there should be 2 people with 0.
I have.
You have it? Okay, let's see. Select star from employees, left outer join. Okay, if I don't even do a group by here, this was showing me everything, right?
Okay. So group by should be by.
Yeah, the group by is causing a problem.
Employee ID.
Yeah, the group by is causing a problem. See? Here it is important how you're grouping by. Yes,
Yeah,
Bradley.
and in the first line, when I did the count, I did a null if for the sales ID. That way I could get all the results, including the 2 who have 0.
What did you do in the count?
Um,
What is the field name? Just tell me what is the field name in the count.
Sales ID.
Sales ID. Yeah, so the outer join is working right, but the problem is here when I start grouping it, and I said group it by, what did I say group it by? Employee ID of the sales table. So notice this is causing a problem. This is my sales table. And when I do an employee ID grouping, these two come together. These two come together and they make one record. So here I don't have to pick up group by table sales employee ID because I don't want to group on this. I want to group on where is your employee ID? I want to group on these. So this is what is causing the problem. So I was thinking in the previous question, I was very particular which one do I want to pick up, and here I didn't bother, and now there is a problem. Because when you group by and when you are counting, you have to kind of see, am I doing it correct? Do I have to pick up this field to group by? And that's what is causing the problem. Because my group by is happening on this employee ID of the sales table, these two nulls group together. When they group together, they become one field. They become one record. And I have a wrong answer. Right? So I'm glad these things are coming up. Therefore, they were lab practices. Last year, I made them lab practices. So this is wrong. So we can't group on employee. We have to group on employee ID. That's not the problem. The problem is you have to pick it up from the employees table, not from the sales table. So with an outer join, I still do it. And I recommend that you also do it. First, do a select star and do a normal outer join. Look at your results first. And then say which one do I want to pick up from here. Do I want to pick up the null ones, the not null ones, and now we have something additional here. How do I want to group if I'm grouping it? And maybe that will, and not maybe. I mean, that will work now, because the grouping was wrong. The grouping was, it was right because it was doing what I told it to do, but I did it wrong. When I say group by sales employee ID, these two nulls came into one group, and that caused a problem. So now I think we are okay. Now the only thing is this one. Count of what? Now let's see, count of what? Sales ID will work? Yeah, sales ID will work because there is no problem here. Yep, okay. Okay. Sales ID will work. Because it will give a count of 0. Right? Any null field will just give a count of 0. When you count null fields, they are 0. Now it should work. We should have 2 people with 0 and 6 people without 0. There it is. Now it works. So the grouping Y was causing the problem. I grouped it on a field employee ID and it was kind of okay. Like if you look at it lightly, employee ID is employee ID, whether you pick it up from sales table or whether you pick it up from employees table. But here it was very important that I don't pick it up from the sales table. I pick it up from the employees table because the sales table had null in it and null grouped together became one record. So when it became one record, it was only showing it to me once. Doesn't matter what name came up. That was just by chance. You could have any name because remember the ordering is not important. But the grouping was wrong. Now it is correct. Now it is okay. You have to be careful. Like you have to be, you can't do it. It has to be done on the employees. And I didn't think of it. I have it in my notes, but I didn't think of it when I was doing it. So definitely we need a left outer join. We don't need an inner join. Inner join will not work. Because inner join just joins people who are same, right? And outer join joins with partners, without partners. It joins, it just joins it. So if it finds a partner, it will join. If it doesn't find a partner, it will put null in the other fields. And that's what we want. So we wanted everybody to join hands, whether a partner was found or whether a partner was not found. And the grouping Y caused a problem. So you can keep your eyes open on this now, okay, for the exam also. Something that maybe didn't even occur in the assignments. I can't remember, but it just occurred now. Okay, so keep in mind, and if you want to make a note, has to be from employees table, not sales, since it is null there. And all nulls kind of grouped together. That's what had happened. All nulls were coming together. So always keep in mind, if you want to join hands for only partners, inner join. If you want to join hands, partners or no partners, then you need an outer join. So always do an outer join first, a normal outer join. Look at your result and then figure out, which ones do I want? Always. Left outer joins are a little like, you just have to pay a little more attention. They're not as straightforward as inner joins. Okay, let's go to 4. So that's done. If it is a left outer join, you could have done it using a right outer join also. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. I'm not sure about, what about if you haven't done subqueries? I'll come back and start doing subqueries also. But this is counting. I don't think we can do subqueries in here. Whenever you have something like count or sum or something, it's kind of difficult. But I'll look into it. I didn't even think of it. I was just answering it like normally. Okay, write a query to return the average initial cost for the vehicles. Initial cost. Okay, I have to look up what the initial cost is. Your query should return one field called, oh my God. Your query should return one called average initial cost, one field. The amount should have 2 decimal places. This is just casting. There it is, a field called, and then here the amount should have to. This is just casting as a decimal with 2 places after decimal. That's not important. Write a query to return the average initial cost for the vehicles. So this is only coming from one table, right? Yeah, this is only coming from one table. Initial cost. So initial cost should be, there it is, right? In the inventory table. It's only one table. There's no even join here. Which means, I mean, it's a review. I'm not only doing joins and queries. Sorry, I keep forgetting. This is a review I'm doing. So I'm trying to review everything that we've done after the reading break. Okay, so a query to return the average initial cost. Okay. So select, because we've done joins and subqueries so many times that it's kind of doing that. The amount should have 2 decimal places. What about the difference? Could I use round also here?
Yes.
Yeah, or I could also use the cast, but I can also use a round. I think we found out both were rounding anyway. I forget now, but you can use either. Okay, so let's find the average first of the initial cost. The field is called initial cost, I think. Okay, and now we have to do, we can do a cast if we like, or we can do a rounding if we like. The only difference between the two, and I have to double check if it is also in MySQL, casting will not necessarily round. Round will always take the 3rd value, and if it is 5 or more, will round it. I don't know how cast works. Does it also round? There's a difference between casting and rounding. I hope you know that what I'm trying to say. If I have 10.276 and I round it, then it will become 10.28. Definitely, that's round. Round will always take, and 5 or more will round it. I'm not sure what cast does. When I say cast, does it just kind of truncate it after 2 places, or does it round and truncate? I'm not sure. We'd have to look up. I don't know how does the cast work. But if it was a cast, all I have to do is cast this as, remember you're casting decimal, what was it? Something comma 2. So I think I saw a 10 there when I was looking at the figure. I saw a 10 comma 2 there. I mean, it was 10 comma 2. It won't go more than that. And do I have enough brackets? There. So that's cast. And the round function is different. The round will just, you put 2 parameters, you say whatever you want, average, and then you put a comma. And it has to be given a name. If you don't give it a name, it will look very bad. And the name that has to be given is average initial cost. It's already been given to you. There. Anything more than one lettered word, more than one words has to go in quotes from the table, and it was called inventory.
You spelled initial.
Okay, thank you.
No, it says it doesn't just take the value.
Does takes the value? So there's a difference between the two? Okay, so we'll double check. So there is a difference. So if nothing is mentioned, then you can use whatever you like. But if round is not mentioned, I'm not telling you to round it, right? So logically, there is a difference. Where did I make a mistake, Bradley? Where is my spelling wrong? Oh, initial. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Let's see if the answers are different, right? In the first one, I've casted it. In the second one, I have rounded it. So if the answer is different, that means one is truncating and one is rounding. We'll know now for sure. That is a 6-2. Oh, I'm getting the same answers. Did you look up the manual, or do you have different answers? Yana?
No, it says, but it's 6-2 is the value. So
Yeah, 6-2 is the value, but I don't know if cast.
No, but there is no value behind the decimal range. So if it was 6 to 8, then it's round. But there is no value after 2 decimals.
Well, because every cost is only 2 places of decimal. Yeah, in this, yeah, silly, right? Cost is always, your original initial cost was only 2 places after decimal. So how will it kind of do anything else? Yeah, how will it do anything else in this case?
Yeah, the manual says the cost just takes the integer away, just cuts it off.
Cuts it off, truncation? Okay, cast is truncation? Okay, so now Yana has checked up the manual. Cast is truncation for your information. I'm going by her word. But in this case, there is no problem at all because our original values have only 2 places after decimal. And rounds it. In our case, there is no, there won't be any difference because our values are originally only with 2 places of decimal. So it's no difference for us. Both will work for us. Our initial cost only has 2 places after decimal. Okay, so just so that you know that's the difference. If nothing is said, I would just stick with cast then, because why are we rounding? I can make either of them wrong or right. So I'll try to be careful. I'll keep this in mind if I make anything in the exam. Okay, write a query to return the profit difference between the purchase price and the selling price for each car sold. Okay, so each car sold is coming from sales. So there must be a selling price and each cost must have a purchase price. That's its initial cost, right? That's its initial cost. So initial cost and price, selling prices are the 2 fields we need. Okay, those are the 2 fields we need. Definitely we need these. Okay, let's come back. Write a query to return the profit difference between the purchase price and selling price. Now the profit can also be negative, though usually not. But anyway, for each car sold, the result should show make, model, and profit. A maximum of 2 decimal places should be returned. You know what? It won't create problem in our case anyway, because all our values, we created it correctly. All our year, notice 10,2, 10,2. So how will we have an answer which is more than 2 places of decimal? Okay, let's go back. So the fields and so on.
If your profit is more than 0, or there is a profit or loss, right?
It could be either. So you'll either see a negative value or you will see a profit, a positive value.
That profit usually means like more than.
Profit always means more of a profit. Like I should say profit slash loss because the difference could be anything. Right? It could be a loss also. So a negative profit means it is a loss. So if you have a negative value, if your initial cost is more than your selling price, it's a loss. Right? It's a loss. So the value will come as, depending on how you write your formula, your profit basically is selling minus initial. But if your initial is more, then the profit answer will be negative, which means it was a loss. Right? So if you want, we can say the profit slash loss. It could be a loss. I mean, usually it is not, but who knows? Okay, so let's do it then. And it says make, model, and profit. Make, model, and profit. So these fields were called manufacturer, model is what I have now that I've changed things. Yeah, manufacturer and model. Okay, select manufacturer, comma model, oh my God. There it is. Okay, and what is the third field? And the profit. Okay, so now what should we say? Profit slash loss. That's the heading we can give, right? So difference between the purchase price and the selling price. Normal formula, right? Selling price minus the initial cost, I think it was called. Yep. Yes, Bradley?
State that it should show the make, model, and profits.
There it is. What do you mean? Sorry, come again.
I'm just trying to see how some of the field set names like manufacturer fit into it.
That is the make, right? Make is the manufacturer.
Okay.
It's just how you call it. If you want to be very specific, you can go manufacturer here. Okay. Selling price minus initial cost. And we'll have to give it a heading. And since I'm not sure, but I think we should put them in brackets because I'm doing a computation and that minus may, I don't know. And then we have to say as, we can say profit or loss. I mean, we have to give it a heading like this. And we don't have to cast it. We don't have to, all our values are in two places. We don't have to do anything. We didn't have to do it in the first place also. Anyway, so from which two tables? From the table names are inventory. And the other name is sales. And again, comma or inner join, whatever you want, and the where condition. And the sticker numbers are same. You could do a natural join. You could do a natural join also. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know. I avoid using natural joins when I teach because then if I say use an inner join, not a natural join or something, students start forgetting their joining conditions, right? That's what happens when you become accustomed to writing the word natural join, you just forget to put the wheres and the ors. It's just how it works. So I kind of stick to not using natural joins so that I don't forget my condition. It just becomes a practice. So there it was, sticker number, join on sticker number. Anything else? I think we are good. What doesn't it like? Oh, because I have a comma there instead of an equal. Copy and paste. I don't know if it is profit everywhere, but anyway, let's see. It's a profit everywhere. So oh, I see a negative value. I do see a negative value. Same with you guys, it has to. So this car has gone on a loss. Mercedes has gone on a loss. So therefore, I think we'll change the heading to profit slash loss because the negative value represents a loss. I mean, a negative value does represent a loss. You can still call it profit if you like, but a negative value means it was actually a loss. Right? Any negative value means it was a loss. So as I said, I mean, you can, it doesn't matter how you give it a heading because a negative value represents a loss anyway. Okay, so there it is. Right? We don't have to do any two places decimal problems here because all our values have only two places after decimal. So if I subtract them, if I add, I do anything with them unless I multiply it or something. then the answer may change. But subtraction and addition and so on, average, it won't change my answer. Right? It won't, will it? Think about it for average. So average is total divided by a number. So if I start dividing, oh, average can be more than 2 places. Average can be more than 2 places. Take an example. How do you calculate average? You add up something. I'm just taking an example. You add up something and you divide by the total number of values, right? So suppose I do this. So what is it? It's 6 ones are 6. You carry over 1, 6, 7. Oh, yes, by chance it's the same. It's kind of coming up. Just that. Okay, so 6 ones are 6. Carry over 4. 6. 4. You know what? It's just easy to do it on the phone. Too much work. Brain doesn't work these days. Average can be 10.36 divided by 6. Yep, 1.72666667. So in average, we definitely have to round or cast it. Here, I'm doing a subtraction. Subtraction will never increase the number of decimal points, but average does. So so in the first one, I said, give me an average of my values. Notice I said average initial cost. So when you add up the costs, they will have 2 places after decimal. But if you divide it by something, you could have more places, right? So we definitely have to do a cast or a round depending upon whatever the question says. In this one, I don't have to do anything at all because subtraction will now not change the number of decimal places. It doesn't. It won't, right? You're subtracting 2 values. So you're subtracting a value which has 2 places after decimal from another value that has 2 places after decimal. You will never go over 2 places. So here it is not necessary. Definitely here it is. Don't forget this. This is necessary. Now the only difference, and Jana has checked up between cast and round, is this. So you know what we could do? We could just do this. Let's do this to be sure. Though by chance it was kind of, I'm just kind of showing you. Yeah, I can just check it like this. I can take a value of 10.246, right? And I want to cast it as a decimal. And I'll take the same thing and I'll put a round. And I'll put a round here. This is how you can check. I mean, I don't want to leave anything kind of in the air. So we'll do these 2. I mean, you don't have, I mean, I'm just doing a select. So that's 10.25, that's the rounding, right? And that's casting. Oh, they both have, no, they both have rounded it. Yeah, no, they both have rounded it. They're both rounding it. Notice the answer. The cast has also rounded it. And the truncate has also, like round has also rounded it. Round will definitely round it. I mean, it's called round. But this has also rounded it. I have a 10.25 here also. It's changed it to 10.25. Okay, so they both work the same, guys. Good, I double checked. Usually, I mean, there is a difference, but here it is not. I double checked. See, I casted the value 10.246 as 10,2. 2 places after decimal. It made it a 2.5. And the round is also giving the same thing. They're both working the same way. Okay, so my bad then. I'll have to remove that comment. Sorry about that, guys. You try to put those 2 statements. We all have now the same kind of engine. Do I have an InnoDB? I think I do. Oh, I forgot that. But I'm sure that's my default on my machine now for your information, but I'll still do it. What is it? Set. What is the command? Set what? Something storage, right? Anybody who remembers? See how you tend to not even remember. Let's try to open something that we did last week. Joins and subqueries, the Beer scripts. Default storage engine. Okay, I've just kind of made it InnoDB. I have changed it on my laptop. I think I already have that, but anyway, let's do a Control S and then a whole thing. Okay, so somewhere here we should see the answer. Okay, so that's the average. That's the average. That's rounding, definitely. No, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter. Yeah, no, that's okay. I just wanted to, I mean, since I put notes on, I don't want to say something that's incorrect, and this was the easiest way to check. I was just getting lazy checking it on. So for your information, guys, they're both the same. It's so therefore maybe my question doesn't say anything. Here, they're both the same. So you can put this in comments. This was just to double check. They both round. There. So both answers are correct in this. Strange, like it should do the same job, but that's how it works. It works. Maybe there is a truncate function. So that's when you need truncation, do it that way. Okay, let's go to the next one. How much did each salesperson generate in revenue? So what does it mean? In revenue, so you know that employees sell cars. We are trying to see how much, and one employee can sell more than one cars also. Okay, so how much each person generate in revenue? The query should return the employee first name, last name, and a column called total sales. It should be ordered from lowest to highest. So revenue means total sales by each employee. That's what we mean. So definitely an inner join. People who didn't make a sale are not even interested. Unless it said, show it to me. Otherwise I won't. So I'm just saying, what were the total sales made by each employee? Okay, so we need two tables for sure. So select we need the first name and the last name, and the fields are called, I just have them here, then I don't have to keep looking, though I have changed everything. Okay, so it's called first name, last name of each employee, and a column called something. So we'll do an as total sales. So definitely, what do we need? Sum function. We need a sum function. There, right? So we need a sum function. So the sum function. And what do we have to sum? We have to sum the, what was it called? Selling price, right? It was called selling price, I think. Yep, selling price. And again, if there is no ambiguity, we are okay, right? And now the tables that we are interested in. So the two tables are the table employees. Using a natural join is much, much easier because you're just being lazy. Okay, I'll do an inner join here. And the other table was called table sales. Right, these are the two tables I'm interested in. I'll use an on here just because. And then their employee IDs were the same. And is that it, or do I have to do something else? Will that tell me the sum of each employee, the sales of each employee, or do I have to do something else now? We have to do a group by, because for each employee, the guy could be, or whoever, the salesperson could be selling more than one cars. So I have to do a group by. Okay, now that we have kind of encountered it once, I'll just kind of think. Group by. I don't think it will matter here. The employee ID seems the most obvious way of grouping because you're saying sum of their sales, but we could group it on anything. Okay, so let's group it by employee ID, and whose employee ID must have picked up, that we found out was not a problem at all. Right, because joining is okay. Okay, anything else? It says order by lowest to highest. So order by 3, you could say 1, 2, and 3. And ascending is not required, but this is how you say ascending. It says from lowest to highest, which is the default also. Right? Seems okay to me. We can try. So an inner join, definitely an inner join. So we should see, oh, something is wrong. 6 people sold, but remember, there were 4 sales and 2 sales and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still see 6 people. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Remember when the second query we answered was how many sales were done by each person. So we saw answers. Oh, there were 6 people. Oh, yeah, right. One guy, so, yeah, there were 8 in all, 6 were selling something, and yeah, so the answer is right. I'm thinking only 6 people sold. No, 6 people sold. They sold 4, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. So the answer should be okay. We can double check. But for a minute, I was just confused. Yep, that looks okay. 6 people were made sales. Some made 4 sales, some made 3, some made 2, whatever. So you can try, double check maybe Nancy. You should always double check, definitely. We don't know by heart, right? So Nancy is employee ID 1. No, that's customer, sorry. That's customer. Employees, Nancy is also 1. So person 1. Okay, so 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and a 1, 6. Had to pick up the highest one. It will be just easier, right? I can see the values here. So let's use the calculator. So we are looking for person 1, okay? Person 1 was this one. So 31995. That's the person 1 plus 2495. Plus another third one, 2995. Plus 24,995. That's it. No more ones. Hoping employee ID is the first one. Yeah, it is the first one. Okay, so do an enter. 98,480. Uh-oh. Somewhere in my math then. What else? It has to be my math. Okay, so let's try it again. The first person, 31,995. 31,990. That is the selling price. Yeah, selling price is what we have to do. Plus 2495 plus 2995 plus another 24,995. No, the answer is wrong.
No, it's correct. It's the last one.
Oh God, I'm just seeing the first name, Nancy. I'm not even seeing the last name. Ah, yuck. Okay, so there were 2 Nancys. Didn't realize it. There were 2 Nancy's employees. I was just checking the first Nancy. There's another Nancy there. Good to have 4 eyes. Yana has done it, so she knows a little. Yeah. So we were looking for this girl, right? The first Nancy was the D1. The last name was the D1. There she is, Nancy DeVolio. So the answer is correct, right? Not the first Nancy. So there's another Nancy, Buchanan. Oh my God, they have tough names. Anyway, so it works, right? I should give you a break because I thought there was 1 more. No, there are 4 more. Okay, we'll take a break here, right? So now we have learned another lesson. Careful about grouping in and what you're showing, right? I never realized it. I'm always careful, but I didn't realize that we could have a wrong answer. And again, just an answer doesn't mean your answer is right. Another thing to remember. I don't know, should I provide answers to you on the exam? That way you can double check, but I don't know if it creates problems. You know what I mean? Like you'll manipulate it somehow. But of course, before I give you an exam, I do it. Or before an assignment. So maybe I can give you the answers. That way at least you can double check if they're right. Let me think about it, okay? If I want to give you the answers of the queries. To save yourself time. Manually, you should always check.
Regarding diagram, right? I noticed that you are
Yeah, it's different. All you do is
here. It doesn't connect to primary.
No, where was it? Is it in database? Somewhere you can change it. Tools? No, not tools. Not in scripting. Has to be somewhere here. There was a way of changing it. Now I forget where it was. It's called connection something. Can't be in edit. No. Has to be in server then. Server status, user status, data import, server options. Oh God, where is it? Oh, you know what? Here in EER diagram, not there. Sorry.
Okay.
In EER diagram, go to relationship notation under model. So you're using the crow's feet, right? I think I'm using connect to columns. I could be wrong. Yeah, there it is. That's where it is. I thought I'd seen it. Of course, it will be the E in the ER, not in the script.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Some people don't. Yeah, some people don't care. Exactly. Perfect example.
Okay.
Wow.
Go to the yes.
But I'm not gonna do it like I was thinking about but since I'm not sure how people actually argue the cop and the cemetery tickets to fly from here at this point. So I just I'll just go to the US. Yeah. For Brazil, that side. Oh well, this is the worst period. Just before this was the worst really high prices.
Which website?
Or maybe that's because it's coming back.
How much is the J unit in the inheritance?
I think
What?
5 and 15.
15 for inheritance?
I think so. That's how it will go because the G unit was smaller. That's what I'm thinking. Depends upon how people do the assignment.
What's the card game worth?
What is
The card game.
card game is worth 10.
And
The first one is also 10.
okay, so the J unit is 5%.
Right now, yes. Right. So if people don't do as good as they did in the last assignment, then I may again change it to 10 because card game was worth 15 to begin with, but people didn't do too well in it. So I kind of reduced its weightage and gave more to the first one because
No, so the first one is 10%.
now it is 10%.
And the midterm was 30%.
30. Yeah.
Okay, so
I just did the calculations yesterday, didn't I, with you guys?
I wasn't.
That was an RD? Okay, yeah. So right now, till it's 30, 10, 10 for the first two. J unit is 5, and then the last one is 50.
Okay, so the one it's students and grades.
The one that's students.
And then the final term would be
Again, 30.
30. Everything.
Lights coming from there.
Oh, there's no one there. That makes sense.
You are still confirming.
So can I get that? Sorry, 800. Still not that bad.
Yeah. It's good. $12 flight.
Come on, they're coming here.
Yeah.
You can like go somewhere for those 400 bucks.
Yeah, she should take it.
I forget, did we stop at 120, was it? I think it was 120, right?
To go there.
I'll wait another 3 minutes and then we'll start, okay?
Governor would be so busy because nobody gives me unless you're going to a national park or something. They say there are some great mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go to.
Really nice.
Alberta or US?
Oh, both. I have family in Vancouver and I lived in
Alberta. Which one? Oh.
Oh, really? Oh, come on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Your brother.
Yeah, it looks like.
Highest revenue.
Just walk on the street. It's beautiful. Yeah. People without shirts on the streets. It's hard. Completely free.
Since you could have this temporary, like, outside, or is it inside?
This is an apartment.
Okay, guys, let's start. People who are late, I don't know if I stopped at 120 or whatever, because these are something new you haven't done before, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I think. So we'll use functions here, okay? It says write a query to display the number of cars sold and the total revenue for each month. It's talking about month now. Shh, guys, please. And if you look at this, if I don't see any month, I do see a sale date though, right? Notice you see a sold date, but where is the month? So if I have a date, can I extract month, day and year from it? Definitely, right? Because therefore dates were made so that you could use these functions on it. So it says, show me, the question is, write a query to display the number of cars sold and the total revenue for each month. So total revenue means how much was in, like, what was the amount that was sold. There should be 3 columns, month, number of vehicles sold, and total revenue. So number is count and total is sum. Okay, so let's come back. Okay, so it says to display the number of cars sold. And 3 columns, month, number of cars sold. So let's select, we will have to select something for sure, right? And it says we want the month of the date it was sold on. So the function is month. There is a function month, and definitely you will use it on sold date, on a date object, right? You won't use it on a numeric or a text date. So you're saying show me the month of the date it was sold, comma, it says the number of vehicles that were sold. And so you can say month if you like here, of course, because otherwise. So that's the first one. How many vehicles were sold? So definitely I have to do a count, right? The count of how many were sold, you can count them by sticker number if you like. You can count them by sale ID if you like, doesn't matter. How many were sold in, you're basically showing only the month instead of the date, okay? So how many were sold? So you can do sticker number if you like. Or sale ID will also do. And the total revenue, so something to do with sum. Now summing up what? We are summing up, what was it called? Selling price, right? It was called selling price. Yep, it was called selling price. So every month, so on in a particular month, how many were sold? Oops, as is missing everywhere. And number of vehicles sold. And the third one says sum, and then you have to give the sum also as a name as total revenue. And again, the word as is not required. So I'll kind of mix and match, though I don't want you to mix and match. But anyway, there it is, total. Oh. Let me just put it on a different line. What have I missed? Oh, double quote and a single quote. There it is. So these are the 3 fields I want. It says to display the number of cars sold. That means it's the count function. To find the total revenue, that means it is the selling price total, the sum of it, and it says in a particular month, right? So I took the month of the sold date, and all this is coming from your table sales. But because you're using sum and so on, definitely we have to kind of group it by. So group by what? A month doesn't need a quote if it is a single word. You don't have to. You can if you like, but you don't have to. The other time I would like you to use it if it is a reserved word, and month is a reserved word, but it's not necessary, right? So basically I'm saying show me the month, show me the how many, and then show me the sum. And since it is definitely counting and summing is on a group, I have to group it by. And what will be the group by will depend upon, what did I say? I said I want to group it for each month. And sold date. There it is. Right, so look at the sales table. Every month, how many vehicles were sold and what was the revenue from it. So I said, okay, show me the month, show me how many were sold, count, and also what was the selling price, and did it tell us to order it? No, it didn't say to order it. Of course, you could order it whatever you like. You can go order by month, you can go order by 1, 2, or 3. However, really doesn't matter, right? So you could order it by 1, 2, or 3. Didn't ask anything, but ordering is not so tough. So every month, how many were sold and what was the total revenue? So let's try that. And there it is. So the month 1, 2, 3, 4 for your information is January, February, March, April. Now let me see. Can we get a function that will also show me the? Oh, and the other thing that I forgot, please. Sold date was a date, right? Yeah, sold date was a date. How to get the? Okay, so this will give you the number. We just saw it will give you a number. I think we have the number, we have how many vehicles were sold. All this is okay. But I think if you do it like this, sold date doesn't have to be cast. But if you say cast sold date as, let me try, because I think I tried this. If you do it as, I'm not sure, but I think I tried something and I was able to get the name. What was our month date? Sold date? I was able to get the month name. And I forget how I did it, but I did. I looked up a function, of course. I had to look it up. Sold date is a date. It doesn't like it. No, I forget what it was. I was casting it as to get the month name, and it worked. I'll have to Google it. So the answer is correct, except 1, 2, 3 doesn't make sense. Get month name from date, MySQL. Oh, there's a month name function. Oh, and I thought I had to cast it or something. Okay, so it's as easy as that. But I thought I did it I'm sure I did it a cast, which means I didn't. There is a month name. I see. Oh, it's a purple one. That's okay. Let's see what it is trying to do. I hope it is also for MySQL, not only for. Yeah, it says MySQL. Okay, let's look at all. Okay, seems like it should work. Let's try it. The month I knew was only a number. I don't know why it's pink in color and not. I think function names, there was a difference between the two. Okay, I don't have to do much. I was doing it using cast or something, I forget now. Anyway, when there is an easy way, why would I bother, right? So, but the month name is in pink and the month is in blue. Do you see? So one of them, so there is a difference. I think one functions come in, it's a function, and then what's month then? We should be able to get month also. I see a month name, there it is, month. Both are functions. Why is one in blue and one in purple? So the month returns a value between 1 and 12, and month name returns a value between January to December. Why are they coming in different colors? I don't know. Why in blue and pink? They're both functions. So I didn't say anything. I just said write a query to display the number of cars sold, the total revenue, and then there should be 3 columns, month, so on and so on. So when I said select, let's see if I should show the month name here, and then the answer will be the same. There is no problem in the answer, but so that's the first one. So you see the month names are odd, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the number of vehicles were okay and the total revenue was okay. But I made it month here, and I still sit by group by month of sold date. Though I can also group it by month name. Grouping by 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 is much easier, like more logical to me. So I left that as month. So I showed the month name instead of the month, and I still grouped it by month, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This makes it easy. I'm not sure how it will work with month name because it's text, but who knows? Like it's just a function. Grouping by text is kind of odd, but it does work. April, okay, let me see if my answers are okay. Let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 4. 3, 3, 2, 4. 3, 3, 2, 4. Yeah, the answer is correct. Yeah, the answers are the same. Yep. I don't know. I just grouped it by month because logically to me it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, grouping by 1, 2, 3, 4. But both are correct. They're working both ways. So nothing is said in the question. It just says write a query to display the number of cars and the total revenue for each month. There should be 3 columns, month. It just says month. Maybe we can say month name or whatever. It just said month, so I went with the month function. The 1, 2, 3, 4 was looking a little odd, so we replaced it by the function month name. That means it was an old MySQL that I was doing the cast function, right? So you've seen a count, you've seen the sum, and here you've seen a month function, which we haven't done before. But again, you have MySQL manual at your disposal during the exam. If anything is asked, you should be aware that there are functions that are available. There are string functions, date functions. There are so many functions that are available, text functions. They're all available in MySQL. Okay. I could, but that's more work, right? That's more work. I could use extract and extract it and then, but this was easy. So, and date functions are available. They're available in all databases because date is such a rich data type, right? Rich in the sense because we use it so often, right? That's why. So extract, I didn't even think of it. I just thought I would use the month function. I mean, I didn't, yeah, but Yana says you could extract the value, but that's more work, right? Extracting, so you took it as a, first you cast it as a string and then you extracted it?
Extract months from sold date.
Oh, so there's a function extract month.
No, extract bracket month from sold date.
Ah, okay. You're still extracting the month. You're still using the month function. Okay. So that's this. I don't think then there's any difference. Extract is just doubling up, like it's just doing the same thing. And I just said group by. So by grouping by, I grouped them by 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, and therefore it was correct, right?
There is like a date.
There could be. I just used month, and I'm sure there could be. Day and year also is making sense to me. So I see day. There it is. And what does it return? The day of the month is synonym as day. What does it return? I'm sure. See, I see so many here. Second. These are all the functions. These are all date functions that came up when I Googled it. So there it is. It has to be rich in it. There is an hour also. It has to be, like all databases are rich in date functions. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. It says write a query to display how much profit each and every salesperson generated That is how much the car sold for minus the cost. Okay. The query should create 3 columns called first name, last name, and profit generated. The result should be sorted highest to lowest. So each and every, the total of it. Okay, so we need a group by again, right? So it's saying what was the total revenue, not the total profit, sorry, not revenue. What was the total profit for each employee? Now it says each and every. Now I'm not sure whether we should be showing the 0 ones also. If we have to show the 0 ones, we have to do a left outer join. If we have to do just the profit people, then we only need the two tables. So assuming profit means there was some profit, we'll join the 2 tables. So let's do a select. We need, the fields are called first name and last name. Okay, now the profit each person made. So basically we have to sum up all the selling prices and subtract all the initial cost from it. That will be the profit. That's okay. Sum up all the selling price. Are you okay?
I'm actually so hard that it hurt something in the back of my chest.
Okay.
It's happened in a long time.
There's nothing to be worried about, right?
Yeah, then again, I've been recovering from a head cold I had last week. Just never mind. Continue.
There's nothing serious, is it? Do I have to call anybody here? And
Nope. Let's just say when you go to Power today,
okay.
you have something else to adjust.
Okay. Okay, so basically that's the sum, the selling price, and then subtracting the initial cost for each salesperson, right? And this has to be given a heading as profit generated. So profit generated by each and every employee. Okay, so from table employees and of course the table sales. And I'm doing an inner join, assuming I only want to show profit for people who made profit. It's not saying show the profit as 0 or whatever, right? And the sum up all the selling prices and then sum up all initial costs will give you the profit the person made. Let me think logically, is it okay? This minus, yeah, I think so, yeah. And the sum up here, you're right. Is it okay logically? Minus, then sum them up. Yeah, it is, you're right. We don't need 2 sums. Absolutely, you can just say sum of selling price minus initial cost. The only thing I'm thinking is if one is negative, one is positive, it will take care, yeah. Mathematically, you're right. You don't have to say sum this minus this. I'll double check, but logically it doesn't, I don't think there is a difference. Where? Mathematically. Okay, so now where? Oh, the joining condition. Let's say E and S. If you want to, that is.
I think also initial cost is an inventory table.
Oh, sorry, yeah, inventory table. Oh, so 3 tables?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, 3 tables. Yeah, I'm not even thinking the selling price is in S, but the initial cost is in inventory table. Yep, thank you. Definitely. I'm not even thinking, I'm saying, oh, the initial cost is in the same table. Of course, it's not in the same table. It's in the original table. Okay, so we need 2 joining conditions, right? So if you have 3 tables, you need 2 joining conditions. So the employee ID should be same. That's one joining condition. And the second joining condition is who's linked with whom? Sticker number there and sticker number here, right? Sticker number there and sticker number here. I dot sticker number is equal to S dot sticker number. It's always a good idea to look at the ERD first. Yeah, that's coming from there, definitely. Okay, there, that's my joining conditions. So 3 tables, 2 joining conditions. Has to be. If you're joining 3 tables, there are 2 joining conditions. Okay, now what else was asked? Write a query to display how much profit. Oh, we have to do a grouping by, right? Okay, so we have to do a group by. Okay, let's think for a minute now. Group by. Employee ID. There is no other thing we can group it by because we're talking about employees. Employee's ID occurs in 2 tables. So let's go E dot employee ID. Right? And then what do we want to do? Oh, I don't know why I did that. It's not wrong, but it's not required. What else do we want? Result should be highest to lowest. So we don't have to say having or whatever, and having won't work either way. These are people who sold something. So they are people, so 0 or whatever. And now what the last one, the order by. And what did it say? Order by should be sorted highest to lowest of what? Of profit, of course. Okay, so order by 3. Yeah, this doesn't need it. It is looking kind of odd. I mean, it's not odd, but why do more work, right? Is what I mean. You always try to write code that's good. Highest to lowest descending. Thank you. Highest to lowest descending. Highest to lowest descending. What doesn't it like? Am I over 1?
Or extra bracket.
An extra bracket. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Logically, 2, 2, 2. Yeah. Why should I use 2 sums? I don't know. Maybe just how I was thinking. So you're basically taking selling price and subtracting the initial cost. The initial cost is coming from the inventory table, and I forgot that table. And then the joining conditions definitely has to be there. Tarun?
What do you mean by order by 3?
Order by 3 means the third field.
Okay.
You can either write this whole thing if you like, or just say 3. So you could write first name, last name, or whatever, or you could go 1, 2, 3. Usually when the field is calculated, instead of writing it, I just name the number. The first name and last name are easy to, like, they're easy. They make sense, but this field doesn't make sense. So there are 3 options actually. You can write the whole formula again here. That's 1. You can write the field number here. That's 2. Or the third option is if the name here is a single letter only, then you can write the name also. But ours is not, so we can't do that. So the number is the easiest to write, right? The number is the easiest to write. And that option is available anytime, whether you're doing a calculation or you're not doing a calculation. So there were 6 people, so we should have 6 results, right? 6, oh no, oops, what did I do? Unknown column sticker number. Stick number. Okay, there you are. Sticker number.
And
Anything else?
just so you know, when you run it, there are 2 Nancys.
Yes, there are 2 Nancys. You're right. Okay, so there are 2 Nancys. Now we know that. Oh God. Okay, so there are 2 Nancys, but there should be 6 people in all, and there are 6 people in all. Right? There are 6 people in all. So I don't know if the answer is correct, but we can double check that again. We should, if we should be doing it, and hoping that they're okay. So I'll kind of complete it and then we can double check, but I think it's fine. So total cost minus, prices minus cost. Also keep in mind, anytime there was a negative profit, we are okay with it. Like it's doing what it's supposed to do. So if a car was sold on loss, and there was a car sold on loss, it will adjust it. Okay, it will do the proper math. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's, again, you have seen month, you've seen order by, we've already done, but we've done an order by a group by a function also. Till now, usually we group by field names, but you can group by anything. You can order by anything, as long as it is a valid value that is coming out of it. The expression should have a valid value. Okay, so that's 8. Let's look at 9. Use a nested query. Okay, so subquery. That took a long time, but anyway. A nested query, no joins here, to display the employee that had the highest revenue in February. Okay, so who had the highest revenue in February? So let's first find out every, the columns returned should show the employee's first name and last name. Okay, so let's try to do a select, right? The max, no, highest revenue. So grouping by also, and okay, give me a minute. Had the highest sales. Remember, sales can be more than 1 by an employee too. Okay, so what does the question say? It doesn't say the total sales. It just says the highest sales. But now the issue here is an employee could have more than 1 sales. So when I say highest sales, are we saying highest revenue, it just says sale. That's all it says. I think we have to sum it up, right? It doesn't say anything. So sum up, we have to sum up, right? So what do we want to select? We want to select the max of something. Of what? Of sum. Of what?
It wouldn't work.
It won't work?
Yeah, max and sum
Doesn't work together?
That's the problem. Actually, I tried to do it, but I couldn't.
Okay, let me try. What did it say?
You can do join, but some query you can't do. So actually, I was waiting for the solution.
Okay, let me try. Otherwise, I must have definitely done it. I don't know what I've done. Select the employee ID from. Same with cookie sales problem. Okay. Are you positive this doesn't work? It gives you something? Gives you an error? Okay, I'll just do it very quickly from a table. Then we will know whether it works or not. Okay. Sum of what am I doing? Sales price. What was that field called? Selling price. Yana says they don't work together. So let me try. So max of this, sum up this. I'm just doing it right from from sales table. I'll see if it works or not. I'm just doing something like generally and group by employee ID. Okay, so I'm going to do it in steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sum up the selling price from sales and grouping by employee ID, right? So, okay, that makes sense. Let's try. Okay, so this should show me each person's employee ID, and this table sales doesn't exist. Doesn't, oh. Yeah, an employee ID. Yeah, there, the table is wrong. Okay, let's see if this works. Job number 1. Okay, job number 1. So we have some values, 7, 1, 2, 6 of them. 4 and 8 didn't make a sale. So that's right. Now I want to find the maximum of this, which is 1695, 995. Okay, so can't I do this?
No, you can. Now you can.
Oh, now I can. Okay.
So when you write the whole query.
Okay, so now it should give me 1695. Oh, come on. 1695. Invalid use of group function.
Yeah, group function doesn't work.
Ah, okay, I see. Because max. Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, because max is not a group function. Sum is a group function. Max is not a group function. Okay.
So I was trying to do delete.
Okay, now let's see what we can do then. But that won't be foolproof. I can do how we did the cookie sales one.
Yeah.
Put it in ascending order and then match the
problem
foot.
also limit doesn't work in subquery, so it gives an error. So
No, it will work in a subquery.
No, it doesn't work. It says limit does not support subquery. So
No, but we did it in cookie sales. We definitely did it in cookie sales. I remember. So let's see if I can do it. What do we want? If I'm trying, so max, it won't work. Max won't work. Okay, so what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get the employee ID of the person. I can get more than one. Okay, give me a minute. From this, okay, February sales, it said sales in February. Okay, so where month of the sale date, the field was called sold date, is equal to 2. That's one job, right? So that's the condition. Now what? So only if the sales were done in February, right? Okay, so that looks okay. Now what do we want? Using a nested query, display the employee that had the highest revenue.
yeah, so you can limit by 1, right? The first one.
Yeah, but the only problem is what if there are more than 1 people?
No, you just sort it. And
Yeah, but the highest, but keep in mind, two people could have the highest. Same thing in cookie sales. Two people could have the highest. It could be logically.
Yeah, but you find the value. Like this is
Set it.
highest,
This
and
is
then
set it. Yeah. Yeah. The same way that we did the other one, right? So what you were saying, the limit is not working here is you were saying. Or you were saying limit is not working in a subquery.
Subquery.
Okay. So yeah, this one will work. So limit one will just show me the first one. Yeah, and then set it and do it. Okay, so now Yana says that limit doesn't work. Okay, so now what do we want? We want
No, because we need
his name, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so name, first name and last name. Okay, so first name and last name. I'm seeing if what you're saying in a subquery limit doesn't work, then we'll have to set it, right?
even if you set it. Then
Oh, definitely it works. We've done it at cookie sales. We've done it. That I'm sure it works.
no, if you set it and then use it in subquery, it's still the same thing. So
Oh no, then I can't use a subquery. I mean, I have to use a, no, let me try. Okay, so select first name from which table are we talking about? Table employees? Where? Now this is wrong because I'm assuming there is only one employee with this ID. But anyway, let's see what, let's kind of go one by one. So you're saying this will create a problem?
yes, like equal to.
Yeah, yeah. You're saying this will create a problem with limit inside the subquery?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Oh, operand should contain one column. Oh, the operand should contain one column. Oh, okay. I see. It just needs one column. That's all it is saying. There. Okay, okay. Let's see now. No, I think there's no problem of limit. The problem is not the limit. The problem is this is not foolproof. This is not foolproof. Because all you're doing is, okay, let's see. What can we do? This is the person with the highest.
Oh, I was also doing the highest revenue because you said
Oh, we don't have max yet.
you need 3 values.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right. We haven't done the max yet. This is only saying,
First name and last name, but you have to show the revenue also, I think.
no, it doesn't show the, it should show the first name and the last name. Give me a minute. Let me think. This
Highest revenue.
highest revenue, this is not the highest revenue, right? This is the highest revenue. Yeah, it is the highest revenue. But how do we sum it up? How do we sum it up? Because it doesn't allow us to do that. How do we sum it up?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I can do the summing up. I can do the order by here. Here. Yeah, yeah, see? I can do this.
No, but you have to also show it from select.
No, it doesn't. It says the columns returned should show the employee's first name and last name.
Display the input, only input, but you don't have to display the highest revenue.
No, I don't have to display the revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, but if, again, maybe we'll create more problems there, right?
Yeah. because-
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It could be. Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, let's go one by one now. If you have to do revenue, then subquery will not work.
Yeah.
Yep. So I didn't ask for revenue. We've done an example like this last week only, where when you had to show something else, you couldn't do it using subquery. Okay, so now what have I done? See, I've kind of played around with it. I got the employee ID of that person where the sales date is 2 February. I grouped it by employee ID and I said order by sum of the selling price. So it's, I didn't show the field. I can show the field because I'm doing an equal to there. So I'm saying this person has the highest one. Now the problem here is it's not foolproof. Why? But what if 2 persons have the highest one? They could, right? They could have it. 2 people may have the same sales. This is assuming, oh, only one can have the same sales. But that's what is wrong. The query is not wrong, but it is not a foolproof way of doing it. Why? I'm assuming there is only one employee who made the maximum sales. Look at the subquery. It says select the employee ID from sales where the date is February, the month is February, group them by employee IDs, and then I say order by sum. So I did the order by sum. So the first person will have the highest, the second highest, and so on. And then I say or limit is 1. Show me the first one. And then I just match it. But that's wrong. It could happen that there are 2 employees who made the same revenue. It could happen. So it's not a foolproof way.
Don't you need brackets for group by?
No. You don't need brackets anywhere. You only need brackets when you're calling a function. Right? Now, if I wanted to make it foolproof, what could I do? I'll have to use the set that we've done before. We say set at max revenue. The only thing is then it is kind of, I mean, it is a subquery if you kind of think of it. Okay, so I'm saying find out the maximum query, which you can do from here. You can do from here, right? Yeah, I have to put it in brackets. Yes, yes. Thank you. I have to put it in brackets. Okay, so this is the maximum revenue. And then now what I'll have to do is, now you see I can show the revenue by just putting it in the third field. The value is there. I mean, it's kind of silly, but I can show it to you. So now, will we count this as a subquery is my main thing. So this is what I'll do now. I'll say, select the first name, the last name, and you see, this is kind of silly, but I can show you the value of max revenue here every time. It's just a value. These persons made, where employee ID in, not in now. Wait, what are we doing? It's kind of tough. Wait. It is. This is like it will take some time because it's something that's, I mean, the first answer was right, but it's not foolproof. I can't give you something that won't work. Now, what do we have to do? We have to give me a minute. It's doable. The first name and the last name and the maximum revenue from the employees where what now? Where, wait. It's no big deal. Give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute. This is an equal, right? This is an equal. It's not an in. But I can use an in. Even if I get a value. Who says I can't use an in if my set only has a value? Like you can use the word in, but it is still not foolproof. That's not, but you can use in instead of equal. But what do we want now? So I get the maximum revenue now. Now what do I want? Now I want all those employee IDs. Now I want all those employee IDs. Okay, give me a minute. Select those employee IDs. Select those employee IDs from that table. Wait. Okay, here. And okay, now let's look at it. See what I did. I think logically, no. Okay. Find out the maximum revenue, right? Find out the maximum revenue. Now try to find all those employees from this table where the month is 2 and the sum of the selling price is maximum revenue for that particular employee. Right? And so I'm grouping by employee ID. I add them together. And then this will give me a set of employee IDs. And I want to see if that employee ID is in that employee ID. Okay, so there's a syntax error is what you're saying, right? Okay. And then we'll have to change the data to see if it works. That's okay. Invalid use of group function. Where is it saying it? In which one? Oh, in this one. In this one. Oh, God.
You can compare sum and with just one value.
So then what? How do you use it? Do it using a subquery? I mean, the first one is only assuming, I just assumed that there was only one employee, right? I just assumed that there was only one employee, which is a wrong assumption.
I tried.
Yeah, Yana has tried a lot. It will only, there's no foolproof in subquery.
Yeah, the join is very
Join says what?
But it says no join.
No, but how will we do it in joins? Sales and this?
Yeah, we just combine the tables.
And then combine the tables, but you have to sum them up also, right?
Yeah, sum the same thing.
Yeah, but then limit one will not, we shouldn't be doing limit one. Yeah, but then it's not the person with the highest revenue.
you just combine the tables
Uh-huh.
and join them on employee ID.
Yeah.
Then say that months is equal to
Yeah.
2 and group by employee ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, limit by 1.
Limit 1, right? But again, that's the same problem. Limit 1 is saying you're assuming there is only one person. That's exactly what I wrote in the first one. Yep, I mean, what I wrote in the first one is a way of doing it, but it's not foolproof. Yeah, I have to. I mean, definitely you're not getting something that I can do for sure. Like I have to try it. I tell you, anytime I give it to you, I have to try it. So you're not getting anything there. So what I had was not a foolproof way of doing it. Like I assumed there would be. So I'll write it for you. I assumed that there will be only one person, which is a wrong assumption. Assuming there is only one such salesperson. That's what you're assuming, which is completely wrong. You said select the first name. Well, write it here, but it's not foolproof. And because we need some, but I'm sure we did something like this in cookie sales, didn't we? Let's see. I'm almost positive we did something.
I think there was 1 table, not 2.
Yeah, cookie sales was only 1 table. But how does that matter? The problem is that it's not allowing us to do group by here. That's what it is saying, invalid use of group by, but I'm definite we grouped them by the name of the girl. Maybe we didn't do a sum. I can't remember. Maybe. Yeah, but we did a sum too. Open up the cookies table, guys. Let me see if I can find it. Cookie tables. Oh, I see donuts. Where's the cookie table?
No, we had count, not sum.
Sorry?
We had count.
Count, not sum?
Not sum.
Oops, okay. So do you think sum works and count doesn't? I can try. And it was like this, like and count.
Yeah.
But if count works with group by, so should sum, right?
Having count.
Oh, having count. Right. If having count, what about having sum? Because, yeah, see? Yeah, you've given me an idea. Yeah, there we are. Having sum of selling price. Come on. Having sum of selling price. Yeah, this will work then. Oh God, right. Having not where is equal to that at max revenue. Having sum of selling price, what didn't it like? Oh, the semicolon is inside. Still doesn't like it? What's missing now?
No, semicolon out of it.
Out of, so why was it complaining then? Doesn't say anything.
I don't think you can use having with sum.
Having with sum, do you think? It's just a condition. There we said the count was this. Here I'm saying the sum is this, right? That's all I'm trying to say.
But count is just count, and sum is you have to group, right? So it's not
Yeah, it doesn't like something for sure. God knows what it doesn't like. Isn't helping me. Oh, okay. Problem. The problem is not here. No, it's fine. No. I thought
yeah, the bracket.
the bracket, but this is the sum one, right? And this is this one.
Group by employee.
There it is. I thought it was a syntax error. There it is. Okay. See, both are group functions. Counting is also counting them, and it's counting after grouping. I mean, we've done what we did in cookie sales. We've done this before. But I don't know. The problem was coming in things where we were placing it. Oh, nothing. Nothing means not working. Okay, now is this giving the maximum revenue? Let's go one by one. Is this giving a maximum revenue? 6, employee ID is 6. Oh, we don't need employee ID now. Maximum revenue is what we need. Okay. Yep. We don't need maximum. Okay, what do we want? What do we want here now? We want, oh God, the employee that had the highest revenue. So let's find the highest revenue first. So let's sum this up. I think we just started wrong, on the wrong foot, you know. That's why we are kind of stuck now. Sum up the selling price from this table where month is 2, group by this, and the limit is 1. And we have to order it also. How do we say sum of selling price? Oops. What do we select from here? We have to select the sum. There's nothing else we can do. Okay, let's try this. Do we have the maximum value? Let's see. Okay, so yeah, that was the right value, 26,995. Okay, once I have the maximum value, I want to pick up all those. Yeah, this will work now. Yeah. Same. Yep, okay. Yep, there it is. No, 26,995. We had 2 answers before, I remember.
But the highest one is 45.
Oh, is it? For February?
Yeah. You can track it.
But we have to sum up for only February's for employees.
Yeah, if you sum it up, February, like 2
Okay, let's see. By the same employee you are saying, right? By the same employee also. Okay, where is my sales table? Oh God, that's okay. If you don't finish it, it's no big deal. I'll give you the solutions, but we have to do what we are doing together as a group correctly. Okay, this is the sales table. This sales table has the employee ID and the month. Okay, now 1, 1, and 1 in February.
If you sum it up, it's 40.
Okay, let's do one by one. The first guy first, right? So that's a February 1 and that's a February 1. So 24.95. $24.95 a plus, and who's the other person in February? Same guy, 24,995. Okay, so that's 1. But look, if somebody else also had maximum sale, who else had sales in February? There, 1, no. There's 6. Yeah, that person is less. Anybody else? No, there is another 6, but that's not in 4. Yeah, you're right. It's a wrong answer. So people who had sales in February was this, again was this 1. And the answer is not correct. And then there was, this person had it in February. But then he didn't have it in February again. Yeah, you're right. So 24.95 and 24 definitely is 48 something.
45.
Yeah, and this is showing 26,995. God knows what it is doing. Oh, it's showing you the 6 one, guys. Oh, that means we missed the February condition somewhere. It is showing you 26,995. Okay, so something wrong in our what we wrote. Let's double check. We are saying select the sum of the price from this table. Where, no, there it is. The condition is 2. Group by employee ID. Order by.
Can you show the result?
Oh, you know what? The problem is here. Oops. The problem is here. Limit 1 descending, not ascending.
No, order by.
Yeah, sorry, order by. There, the problem is here. You have to put it in descending order. Then you pick up the first value. Now it should work. Okay, let's try again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now it's okay. The problem was descending was missing. It took the smallest value. Okay, we've done this before. It's just that I started it on the wrong foot, I think. That's all it was, right? Anyway, so find out the maximum revenue. So I found out the maximum. The problem was, why don't I just keep it here, inside here? This equal, does it work here? Having sum? Can I make a subquery out of a subquery out of a subquery? Did you try that, Yana? Can I just take this? Okay, let me try something. I'll put this in quotes. Sorry, in comment. Oh, not this comments. Yeah, this one. What are the group comments in SQL? Same thing, right? Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to, can I just remove it from here and put this subquery inside it? I mean, it's more complicated, but I mean, if it works, I'm just saying if it works. put this subquery inside it. I replace the at with this subquery. It's a single value. It should work, like logically.
You should remove max. Max value.
Oh yeah, then I can't. Oh, then I won't be able to see the maximum revenue. Like now, the worst case behavior is you can take this subquery and put it here every time, but that's a lot of execution time. That's a lot of execution time.
Yes, right.
It's the same person?
Yeah.
Okay. So it will work if I kind of don't use the variable. I mean, if you go in steps, that's how, but then I won't be able to show this value here. Now there is an escape there also. There is a solution there also. You can take whole this subquery and keep putting it here every time, which is like really bad, but you know what I mean? Like it can be done. It's a subquery. You can just pick this up subquery and put it in your select clause right here after the last name. Put a comma and put it there. It wasn't asked, but Yana said, what if we want to show it? So I said, we'll put it in a variable and show it. And that's how we could do it. I just took this subquery. So if you understand what I'm doing, all I did was I just picked this whole subquery from here and I replaced is equal to here, where there was an equal to. So before you had this here, you had this here. That's all you had. I was just comparing it with a number. So logically, like even from efficiency point of view, you must first calculate it, put it in a variable, and then use the variable. And there's nothing wrong in it because it is still a subquery. I still have a select inside a select. So I'm still kind of satisfying that condition. But you could always replace it. Though, as I'm saying, it's kind of too much. I mean, now again, I don't know how the storage engine works. Does it kind of calculate that every time or does it do having at the end? Like, who knows? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know about database engines as well as we know about normal coding. So all I did was so you know what I'll do? Give me a minute. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to kind of put it here. As I had before. So I had created a local variable, then I did a select, and then I used that local variable here. I used it. This is what I was doing before. And I'm still doing the same thing. I'm not done anything different. And then I closed it here. And then I put a semicolon. This is what I had before, guys. And it was working. You can kind of take it out and see it works. When we did this, we had that Nancy girl. And I just did a trick. I just showed the revenue with it. And it was fine. It was working perfectly fine. All I now did was, so I'm going to take this out. I mean, I'm not going to write solutions which are not foolproof, thankfully. And then alternatively, I kind of did it this way also. Alternate without the local variable. So if I don't use the local variable, I have to just take the whole query and stick it where I need it. I just kind of removed the maximum revenue and I stuck it right here as a subquery. I just put it here, see? I just put it here, nowhere else. You know what? We should have just started doing it as we did it in cookie sales. It's exactly what we did in cookie sales. There we were doing a count and here we had to do a sum. And the sum has to go in having, not in where. My silly mistake. So you can still do it. You can still, I mean, you can take this subquery that you have here. And if the question is show me the revenue also every time, nobody stops you from doing this. Like you could have a whole subquery inside your field list. Remember, we could, and this will still work. So I've just replaced everywhere I've replaced. So you should have two answers. Both should be the same. Oh, look at my field name. But the answers are same. 45,490, 45,490. So definitely, I'll just give it a name here. What was the name we wanted to give it? What was the name we wanted to give it? Nothing. Maximum revenue. No, we didn't say anything. Oh, we didn't give it a name anywhere. Call it maximum revenue. Or you can just say it revenue, doesn't matter. I didn't give it a name, therefore it's looking so untidy. These are all employees. These are all employees who have the maximum revenue. I'm going to just give it a go, like together, because I know the last two answers are answers. So now it shows Nancy DeVilio had this much, and we'll show the same thing here. Same answers. In the first one, again, I just did a step by. I calculated the local variable first. I found out what is the maximum revenue. And I said, select the sum, group it by persons. I said, oh, the month was only 2. So I kind of made what is the maximum. And then I showed all their names who had that maximum. Now, it's not that one person may have it or 2 or 3. I had no clue. So this is the foolproof way of doing it, right? And in the second, so it is a subquery. It is a subquery. This is a subquery. You don't have to kind of replace it like I've done. But then all I did was at all places where I've used this word at maximum revenue, I replaced it with this subquery, like as a subquery, the whole thing without the semicolon. I just copied and pasted that instead of maximum revenue. That's all I did. You can put it in a field list. You can put it in a condition. You can put it anywhere. You've done that. But there is nothing wrong in this one also. You've used a local variable and it is still a subquery. And Jena said join was easy. I'm not even putting my join in head now. I put in a lot of effort here. But she said join was much easier. She was able to do it using join. Maybe I'll write it afterwards. How many do I have? Can I complete it before the time ends? Okay, let me finish it off and then I'll write it in join. For each manufacturer, show the number of cars in stock for each model year. An example row is below. Manufacturer, model year, number of vehicles for each model year. Okay. Okay, let's do that. That doesn't seem to be too tough unless I'm not reading it correctly. Okay, so we want what? We want the manufacturer. I'll do that using join also when my brain starts working in join, okay?
The join will be not full code because you have to use
Join will not work. Sorry, come again.
not going to be full code because you have to use limit.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. You're joining them and you're saying, just show me the first person. Right. I see what you mean. Okay, I won't even try then. Okay, so manufacturer is my first field. Sorry about all that confusion, but you know what? You live and learn. I'm sure now you won't forget it. As I said, we had done it. It wasn't just coming to my mind. The problem was with having. I was putting it in where. I tell you not to do stuff and I do the same thing. Okay, now what's the second field called? Model year. Thank you. As model year is what we want to call it. Maybe if you're going to say something, remove the dash out of it at least. Let's remove the dash. And what is the third field? The third field is the number of vehicles. Okay, so here we need the count function, right? We need the count function. Count the model. Yep, okay, we are going the right way. Okay, so show me the manufacturer, show me the model year, show me the count. Okay, now from which table? From the inventory table. It was called table and inventory. Okay, now each manufacturer show the number of cars in stock for each model year. Okay, so group by. You haven't done this before, I think. We've always done a grouping by one, I think, right? For each manufacturer. And inside each manufacturer for each year. There it is. I'm not sure. I don't think we've done grouping by more than 2. We've done ordering by for sure. Grouping by, I'm not sure. But group by will work. It's the same thing. It says first group. You have to kind of group manufacturers, and inside manufacturers you have to group models. So let's see the answer and then we'll go back and double check it. Okay, so Acura, we have 3 model years and 2, sorry. And then number of vehicles 5, and yep, looks right. And then we have a Buick and then a 2008 and 2011, and then a 1 and 1. So they're showing properly. The only thing is it right? So let's check for Acura, right? Acura 8 has 5. Acura 8 has 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For Acura has, oh, we have to do the manufacturer. Sticker number, model year, manufacturer. Okay, so sticker year, model year. Okay, so yep, 5 for 2008 and 1 for 2011. Perfect. Yep, that answer is right. That's the right answer. I've checked Acura, so I'm assuming the rest will be okay. Right, so group can be done on more than 1 fields. Oh my God. Okay, last. Show the employee ID, first name, last name, and the sticker number for every vehicle they sold. Oh, that's not a tough one. Okay, so every vehicle they sold. Okay, so let's go employee ID. The employee ID. Oh, do we need something like a? Yep, so employee ID will also be in the other table. Remember the S table. Okay, so employee ID, the first name doesn't need a qualification. The last name doesn't need a qualification. What else do we need to show? And the sticker number. Because the sticker number is coming from S. Again, there is no ambiguity. You can just write sticker number. Okay, so if it is ambiguous, then you give it. Now, what else do we want? Every vehicle they sold. Okay, join. You can do a natural join here, actually, guys, because it's you want to try natural join? It will just be easy to write, not that it is. This should work. What does natural join do? Adds, you can, I mean, you know it now, hopefully. A natural join is an inner join on the same named fields. It was called E dot S dot. That's how you join. I mean, that's the common field on which you join. So that's an inner join on employee ID. And again, if there is no ambiguity, you don't have to mention it. I knew that I would need the number, therefore I went with E and S's. Oh, where are my E and S's? Sorry. That's an E. That's an S. That doesn't even need a name. Only E needs a name because of the ambiguity. This one needs an S. Oh, who knows? Under the cover that is still joining an employee ID. I don't think we need an S in the first case at all. The natural join picks up employee ID from here and matches with employee ID automatically. But I do need the E because I'm saying select E dot employee ID and 2 tables I need here. So employee ID is occurring in both E and S, and therefore I have to kind of give it a qualification with E dot. But I don't have to give it anywhere else. In the first one, in here I have to. Okay, so these are people. Okay, this is not. So how many? We had 6 and they had sold more than 1 each. There was 4 something, right? Yeah, so 1 is in 4. You can put it in ascending order if you like. It's kind of neater. You can put it in ascending order. Doesn't say anything. That way it's easy to read. Employee ID is 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Then we had 2 and 2. Yep, the result looks right. You've seen this before, right? People who were selling cars, 4, 2, 2, 2, and 1 or something. I'm hoping to. I definitely see Nancy selling 4 cars. and then 2 by Andrew, 2 by Janet, 2 by Michael, and 5 and 7. That looks right. 4, 2, 2, 2, and 1 and 1. 4, 2, 2, 2, 1 and 1. Yep, there were 6 people who were selling it. So the result is okay. So that takes care of your extra lab 1. Right? So we've seen almost everything that we've done after break in this. We've seen normalization, we've seen advanced functions, we've seen group by having, we've seen subqueries and joins. We've seen everything. Okay. Now the second one, I'm not sure what it has, but I don't think we can do it in 6 minutes, but.
Plus when I tried loading all the tables, there was an error.
Okay, so let's see if there is an error. At least we can take care of that, okay? So that you have the right one at least. So extra lab 2. So do you see again some errors here? Oh. Yeah, query was interrupted. Incorrect value for column birthday at row 1. MMYY. Ah, that's really silly. Birthday is wrong. Of all the things to happen. Okay, this is not even giving the full birthday. Okay, let me look what it is saying. Table customers. It's a date field, but I'm positive I've used this example before. Okay, what is it saying? That create table is giving a problem. Table products was right. Creates were all okay. Incorrect date value for birthday. Yeah, definitely it is wrong. That's really strange. At which record? 8/15, 19th. Oh, at the first one itself. Okay, what's the MMDDYY, right? What's wrong in that date? You can use dashes or slash, both of them.
It was not a birthday one, there was something else that was wrong.
It says from birthday at row 1.
Yes, but I found it wasn't birthday, it was something else.
Oh, you forgot about it.
Yeah, I changed it and it worked.
You can use a slash instead of a dash, that's for sure. Unless, no, MySQL can use it.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Yeah, it can use it. I'm positive it can use it. No, it's something else. What is it saying is something else now? Oh God. I never thought there was a problem in the script. Okay, let's go back to customers. First name, birthday. Do you see anything date else? No, there's no other date.
No, there was not birthday, something else was wrong, but the date is there, I don't know why.
Oh my God. And it's not being very helpful. I see something odd here, 7/2015, but that's not a date at all. I don't know, I'll have to look it up. I thought this script, how come it's not running?
But I changed the role that I changed something.
Oh God.
But it wasn't the value.
It wasn't the value, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is CC expires. Okay, it's just a varchar. But I don't know. I'll have to see. Because I've run that script because I have the solutions. So I must have done something and then forgot about it. I don't know. Okay, guys, I'll have to look. I can't remember, okay? Yana, if you can remember, let me know, but I'll look at it after this and see what's going on. So I'll put on Blackboard for you guys what we did today. So under weekly learning, under your own class scripts, and I should be replacing this one also. So we found out a problem in the first one for sure, right? Courses. Okay, so officially we are done today, right? Nothing to teach next week, of course, but you'll do your exam next week with me.